Hi guys. So you watched the video, Introduction to the Passive During Social Distancing. We formed the passive with be plus verb 3, and I'm going to talk about how you form it or the mechanics of it later. So let's talk about why we use it, the context of the passive. Well, we use it because English is obsessed with subject, verb, object. We're very rigid in our language structure. The subject is always first in the sentence. We read from left to right. It's the noun that's before the verb. Other languages like Arabic and Kurdish are more fluid, meaning that the most important word will move around its position in the sentence. English doesn't do that. The subject is the main idea of the sentence. It's what the sentence is about. And that word is the most important. Usually, the subject and the doer are the same. We don't think about it, right? Alex teaches English. Alex is the subject. Alex is the doer of the action. But sometimes the direct object or the receiver of the action, the person or the thing the action happens to, sometimes that word is more important than the doer. And because it's important, we want to put it in that strong position in the sentence so the reader sees it. And that position is the subject position, which is why we use the passive. This is context point number 1. The receiver of the action is more important than the doer. Sometimes we don't know who's done an action. Oh my God, my wallet's been stolen, right? I don't know who stole it. Ramyar, was it you? Faisal, was it you? Saif, was it you? No, it's none of you guys, but somebody has stolen my wallet. I don't know who's done it. Sometimes the doer is obvious or unimportant, right? English is spoken all over the world. I don't have to say it by people. Obviously, people speak English, right? Lucy, my bird, she doesn't speak English. She speaks squeak. My desk, my computer, they don't speak English. People speak English. So the doer is obvious. I don't need to say it. "60 people were killed in a roadside bomb on Tuesday in Yemen. Although the attack was carried out by the Saudi military, many people in the Arab world have blamed the United States, for the bombs which were used in the attack had been made in the United States. Senator Chris Murphy has opposed the sale of weapons to Saudi since the journalist Jamal Khashoggi was killed in the Turkish embassy on October 2nd. Khashoggi went to the embassy after he was told he needed a certain document for his marriage the next day. Even 60 people 60 people were killed in a roadside bomb on Tuesday in Yemen. Although the attack was carried out by the Saudi military, many people in the Arab world have blamed the United States for the bombs which were used in the attack had been made in the United States. Senator Chris Murphy has opposed the sale of weapons to Saudi since the journalist Jamal Khashoggi was killed in the Turkish embassy on October 2nd. Khashoggi went to the embassy after he had been told he needed a certain document for his marriage the next day. Okay, now listen to the questions and try to answer them in speaking. How many people were killed in the attack? 60 people were killed in the attack. What was carried out by the Saudi military? An attack was carried out by the Saudi military. Who made the bombs which were used in the attack? The United States made the bombs which were used in the attack. Why did Khashoggi go to the embassy? Khashoggi went to the embassy because he was told he needed a certain document for his marriage the next day. Hey guys, here are some example sentences that show how the passive is formed in each tense. Do not try to memorize this. Use logical reasoning. You know the passive is always formed by be plus verb 3. The participle, the verb 3, never changes. It's only be that changes to show tense and singular or plural. And you all know how to form the verb to be in all these tenses. I also want to say that it's possible to use the present perfect continuous and the past perfect continuous in the passive, but it's rarely done. So please don't stress about it. A car is made in Kurdistan. Cars are made in Kurdistan, right? The be is changing to show plurality and tense, but the verb 3 stays the same. Also, you know that when I want to form a negative with be, I just add not. So cars are not made in Kurdistan. A car is not made in Kurdistan. And you also know that be is a helping verb as well as a main verb. So here, be is the helping verb for question formation. Are cars made in Kurdistan? A new library is being built. Cars are being made. My wallet has been stolen. The cars have been stolen. Please remember, B-E-E-N is pronounced been, and everyone around you who says been has bad pronunciation. The coronavirus has been being, two different words, transmitted for months. People have been being infected for months. A new library will be built. I wish several libraries will be built. Salaries are going to be paid by the government. My salary in the United States is not going to be paid by the government. Past simple, oil was produced in Iraq last week. Vegetables were grown in Iraq last week, to give you the plural. People were being warned about the coronavirus before it hit the United States. The president was being warned about the deadliness of the coronavirus before he took it seriously. Before the war started, weapons had been made. Before the war started, a weapon had been made, singular, plural. And past perfect continuous, I wish ventilators had been being made before the pandemic hit. Remember, be plus verb 3, and then you can figure it out. Look at the next slide. Hopefully this slide illustrates, first of all, how you form the passive in positive sentences, negative sentences, and questions. And then also that you never have to memorize the chart on the preceding slide. You can always figure it out. If you remember, the passive is be verb 3 never changes, and that you know how to form be in every tense. So we know the passive is be verb 3. The present perfect is have, has, or verb 3. Add them together. What's verb 3 of be? It's been. So the present perfect passive is have, has, been, verb 3. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, number 1. Everyone was shocked by the terrible news yesterday. You see that by phrase? That's a clue that you're in the passive. Also, who or what does the shocking? The news does. Not everybody. Everybody's the receiver. Everybody is the person experiencing being shocked. Be careful. ED adjectives or participle adjectives. Sometimes they're passive voice and sometimes they're adjectives. And it's sometimes not clear. You have to read the sentences around for context. For example, the window is broken. Is broken an adjective or is it passive voice? The window has been broken. Is that an adjective or is it passive voice? In the first one, it's typically read as an adjective, but it could be passive. I need more context. In the second one, the window has been broken. Definitely passive voice because the action happened but has a result in the present. Number 2, Mr. Green, blah, blah, at the university since 1989, has been teaching. He is the doer of the action. The subject is the doer. Number 3, not much has been said about the accident since that time. Who's doing the action of saying or speaking? It's people, right? I don't have to say the doer. It's obvious. So not much. Much there is your subject. We think of much as an adverb, but it's also a quantifier, so it can function as a noun. Not much has been said about the accident. And then number 4, we've got another by phrase there. A new book will be published by that company next year. The company is the doer. The book is the receiver. That is the passive voice. He remembers the girl's name now. He does the action. The secretary was introduced to her new boss yesterday. Think about power relationships in a company. A secretary is of a lower status than a boss, so she's not going to go up to her boss and be like, "Hey there, I'm Alex, boss man." She's going to be, someone's going to walk her around and introduce her to people. Also, you introduce somebody to somebody. So if you said the secretary introduced to her new boss, no, she was introduced to her new boss. That really is about context and reading comprehension. Our plan is being considered by the members of the committee. Here, both are passive. The question is, do you understand that the action is happening at the moment or is long? And number 8, he was held responsible for the accident. To hold someone responsible means to say that they're guilty or they've done something. So you are held responsible. Someone holds you responsible. He was held responsible for the accident. A prize will be given to whoever solves this equation. This is about, do you recognize how to form it? So will be, verb 3. And number 10, when the manager arrived, the problem had already been solved. Yes, someone solved the problem. We don't know whom. So that is your first engagement with the passive. Let me know how it went.